half a pen for some reason. Excuse me for fiddling.
There we go. Do you need a pen?
Well, I've got the other half in my
There's one
bag.
here.
Oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll borrow it for now. So did a lot say they weren't coming then?
Well, we just no. We've got one apology there.
John's not apologised for
My
this thing
husband's
as well.
there.
This is-
If
this
you're not
is meeting,
loud enough,
isn't it,
I
John?
might hear you.
John likes this meeting. He's normally here.
Go to the bottom door by the kitchen.
I haven't.
Yeah,
We haven't heard
not
anything from
loud,
Mo, have we?
because it's deaf.
How rude.
But we'll
Or
I'm
ring the house
joking.
phone if you've got the house phone number.
we'll start.
Yeah.
It's 01535
Just a minute.
602424.
Four people. Are we quorate?
We are correct. That's four. So we've got 23, 24, 20 apologies for absence. To note, apologies for absence. The books there, we've got apologies from Chris O'Neill. So to approve reasons for absence,
Yeah, okay.
everybody in favour? Yeah,
Yeah.
for Chris, yeah. 23, 24, 21 disclosures of interest, to receive declarations of interest from councillors for items on the agenda. Anything from you?
No.
Nothing from me. Anything from anybody else? No. Okay. I'm assuming we've got no written requests.
Nope.
No. Okay. So we'll move swiftly on to 23, 24, 22. The minutes. The minutes of the last meeting. Does anybody have any
outside knocking on the door.
comments or corrections on the minutes of the last meeting?
No.
Can I have someone propose their acceptance?
I propose them.
Propose it.
Seconded by Lynn, all in favour? Yeah. So minutes accepted.
It's just for apologies, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 23, 24, 23, confidential items to be discussed after item 28. Is there anything on the agenda that people think should move? I don't really think so.
Not a lot on it.
There's not a lot on it. I don't think most of what we do here is confidential anyway. Is it? You know, so okay, we'll move on then. 23, 24, 24, public participation. We have no members of the public. 23, 24, 25, communication. To consider the council's communication with the public,
Yes.
including social media, etc. So I know Debbie circulated. Did people see the social media document
Yes.
that talked about
Yes.
reach?
Yeah.
We obviously are improving, which is good.
It was good, yeah.
There's obviously still more that we can and probably should do to get as much out there as possible.
It's interesting though that the reach declines as the month goes on in terms of people looking. So it starts off quite high, 3rd of September, and then it starts to die. The only one that it hasn't done is Instagram, where it's slightly uptake.
So do we need
It'd be good to overlay where you
we put stuff
where you're
out?
putting stuff out. And Debbie did put quite a number out the other day. I sort of dropped on it, and there were about 3 or 4
Yeah.
chunks all at once, and you're really better giving them one a day, or one. You know, if you've only got limited, one a week.
Yeah.
But if you've got quite a few, it's one a day. If you give them anyone more than that, they tend to sort of like have a quick and don't
Yeah.
go back.
I don't know if we actually do we actually record how many we're putting out each day,
I don't know if Debbie does. She may do.
because it probably would be useful information wouldn't it, for us to have. Because some of it obviously has to go out there and then because it's time dependent. Because I know
Yeah.
I sent her one yesterday going,
Well,
I've
most
just
of them
had this
are.
through. I've just had this through saying like the towpath is definitely shut this week, so it needs to
Yeah,
go
I
out
saw
today. And then a lot of the other things, I think, as we've talked before, if it's grants and stuff that comes through, because they've got such a short gestation period for the applications, we need to get it out there as soon as possible. But if we're putting stuff out we should definitely spread it out a bit more. I think you're right.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't quite. I think one of the massive peaks was when we had that lost vehicle, wasn't it? The kiddie's car left in one of the toilets. It definitely got us. Definitely got a lot of
that'd be around
views.
about 7th September,
Yeah.
11th, wouldn't it?
I think that was definitely one of the peaks.
If it was 7th, you probably got overspill on it 11th as well, a couple of days. And it might also coincide, I don't know whether it's a weekend that or not. Because some people don't do social media until weekend.
Yeah.
No, 11th were a Monday, but 7th was a Thursday. So it could have gone out over the weekend, then you see.
Possible. Yeah.
But Instagram's quite a healthy sort of bounce, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, I mean the only problem with graphs like that is the scales on the two of them are vastly different, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah,
We get a lot more reach on Facebook. I think it just is that more people. Well, it probably appears in their news feeds, doesn't it, rather than reading it. So I don't know if it's a slightly misleading figure or not. I don't really know how they do it.
I think what you need to understand is if it's going up, it's good.
Yeah.
But if it's coming down, it's not.
It's not so good, and it definitely has improved over the last year. So we need to keep an eye on it and try and keep it at a reasonable level, don't we? Then
Should we? I know Debbie's doing this, but it might be good as well to have the website stats. You know how many visitors websites have had, because that's where most information
comes from.
goes.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm presuming that we're probably putting the same thing onto the website that we're putting onto Facebook, or vice versa.
I think more people look at Facebook than the website.
I'm sure more people look at Facebook
you're right,
than the website.
You're right, but it's it's just another. It's an avenue of it's part of the tool, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if we can easily get website stats. If not, it's
Well, you get
something
a new one.
we should feed into the new one. Yeah. And then I think last time we did talk about other possible places, whether it be paper in going up on notice boards. I don't know if we've progressed any of that.
I've put this on the agenda because we didn't really sort of discuss it that far, did we? But another councillor actually phoned me up and asked about putting signs up advertising the council in local areas. It was Councillor Beckwith.
I know he says he said a few times about putting some stuff up on a notice board.
I didn't know whether he meant notices or signs.
Not this way to the council.
Or welcome to Bingley, or welcome to Bingley Town Council, even if you're in Micklethwaite kind of thing.
I haven't noticed any signs that says "Welcome to Bingley." Is there any?
Well, there wasn't
all
welcome
the
to Bingley on Lidl.
have the granite welcoming with gold, Eldwick, Gilstead, Bingley.
Stone.
The stone planters. Yeah.
They all have those as you're driving in or out of Bingley or into others. They do it.
Because I thought what we talked about last time was whether stuff like the newsletter that we send out electronically, we could print out and maybe put up in a couple of notice boards. Either that one out there, maybe one in Cottingley, maybe one up at Gilstead or something.
We need to get access to all the numbers.
Could, as it's a newsletter, could there also be an open pile on the library thing, as that is a secondary sort of community hub type place, the library, that people can take?
We'd have to get them printed. So at the moment we just
right.
the monthly newsletter.
To be fair, we have got a few spare.
Yeah, I don't mean those as well, but the monthly ones.
Oh, I see. The monthly mailing. Yeah.
I mean, I think another events, marketing and communications is in our title. Should we act like a town crier role and inform and to inform, to warn, to report, all parts of that. Even like there's a big storm coming, batten down your hatches and all that sort of thing. You know, to be a sort of town crowd. There is a big storm coming, by the way. Batten down your hatches.
If it's
But,
really big, yeah, we do.
That kind of information would come from Bradford Council as
Yeah.
well
You'd think,
to disseminate.
yeah.
But quite a lot of what we do disseminate comes from Bradford anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
So is there anything we want to recommend to full council? If we decide to put notices up, because I know Councillor Beckwith has said in the past, could we put something up on notice boards that just said, you know, come along to a council meeting, F&GP meets second Tuesday or Wednesday, planning meets second Tuesday. So it's not actual dates, it's more just this is what the council does, if you want to get involved, come along, and these are the things, this is something for you to look at. I think that'd be could be quite useful, but I don't know.
I think first one, it should be out there in that notice board, shouldn't it? For definite, and that should be maybe repositioned into a more prominent area.
Yeah, that's a
Well, I
good
think it
idea,
needs
isn't it?
repositioning.
Yeah.
Do we want to recommend that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What, say put it up nearer the market square rather than
Well, it was,
down here?
it was,
Down
it
here
was
and it's
originally
facing this way, isn't
Yeah.
it? So it's not even.
It was originally down at the market square, and it got moved because you had to stand on the wall to put anything in it.
Oh,
So it was a health and safety issue. But I'd given its current position is just where no one's ever going to look at it.
I mean, if it was screwed to the wall or something like that, it'd be an improvement.
It isn't actually ours. It's
Is it?
Bradford Council's, isn't it? So it could be that
Oh,
we
got
have
lost
to
in
look
it.
into getting a new one. And then we can just put it wherever we want, can't we? Rather than asking Bradford
On
to
our
move it, we
property,
better
yeah.
get them to move it in the first place.
I still think we should ask them to move it as
Yeah.
well. And if we don't get any joy with that, because even just, I think I said this the other week, if we just turned it round and moved it to the other side of the path, where people actually walk past, I think it would get
yes,
100 times more viewing than
Yes.
it does in its current position.
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Anything else we think we should do? I think if we can print some stuff up and have it ready for people to distribute, and if they have a notice board it can go up on, then
What
that's
do
fine.
we have an email newsletter that goes out or anything
We do.
to what we've harvested?
We have this monthly newsletter that goes out via email after every full council meeting.
Right.
We've got quite a few people signed up to it, but I don't think the system works. I think it tends to send to a number of people and then just stop.
That's good then, because I signed up to it and I've not had anything.
So I don't think we really know what its reach is, and I think, and it is. There was about a year ago. There was lots of toing and froing with various people because it suddenly stopped working. It was working, and again, I think once we've got a new website, we need to ensure that can push stuff out to people, because I think at the moment we just don't really know what our reach is, and I think that's probably why I know last time we touched on the Eldwick newsletter and articles appearing in it. I went and had a look back at them, and it literally was just a lift from our newsletter. So maybe they're not getting it anymore either.
I think Mark used to send them something, didn't he?
Well, it had his name on it, but literally it was a cut and paste
Right.
from our newsletter. So whether Mark got the newsletter and just sent them bits on, I don't know. Did we talk to Tony Clegg? Said last time that Deb would contact him.
Who's Tony Clare, sorry?
The editor of the Overlook newsletter.
I'm not sure, I can check.
Because it might be, if our mailing list isn't working as it should, that we need to, if it's only going to like the first, I don't know, 200 people, can we ensure that those 200 people are the people that will disseminate it further?
Good point.
Anything else on communication that we think we need to cover? No. 23, 24, 26 events then. To consider the town council's involvement in local events run by third parties, including the City of Culture. Did anybody go to the open evening for the City of Culture?
Not guilty.
Yeah,
No.
the one. Yeah, I went in the evening one. I couldn't go to the daytime one. I went to the evening one. It was very positive actually, and I just felt that everybody there could be tied into the festival as well. So, yeah, it was good. There were a lot of people, and the guy from Bradford Council, John something or other, talked for too long.
Oh,
He just went on and on and on and on. I could see, and Susan Fricker was sitting next to him,
Yeah.
and I could see she was desperate to interrupt him and shut him up, but she didn't succeed. So it lasted a lot longer than expected, and there were a lot of people, and everybody had a chance to talk. So it did take quite a long time, but it was very positive, and I think things will come up out of it, and it sort of leads into D. David Carpenter's really keen to be involved in the festival, so I think
right.
that we'll get together, and from there there'll be other people, and we'll make a plan.
In the Music Town chapter.
Yeah, we need some costings, because Marcus sent us, Drayden sent us him and I, a thing where you can apply for grants for festivals up to £10,000, but we can't do that without some costings, and we need to find out even if we're eligible for something like that. And hopefully we'll get some more money from 2025.
I was going to say, because just marquees are very expensive, aren't they?
And the insurance.
Yeah. So are there any other, obviously City of Culture's looking at things? I know I spoke to Dave Carpenter at the networking event and mentioned to him, because I think next month it's a music month, isn't it, that Bradford's again suddenly announced, and I think he's been involved in that. But I don't know what's planned for Bingley.
No, I don't. Because we were just considering 2025, because the festival won't happen next year now, because it's too late in the year to start planning for next year. It'll be 2025 before we get the Arts Festival up and running, I think.
There's no possibility of dovetailing in with the...
We might be able to do something smaller, maybe, but we'll talk about it.
Right.
And see what we can come up with. But I think we'll get more finance as well if we have
2025, yeah. Certainly got be more avenues, I think.
Yeah.
So how can we help you with the Arts Festival?
I don't know. I think we will need somebody from Bradford Council on board as well, who knows who we need to apply for permissions for whatever. The use of the parks, for instance, the use of the square, because it's not
Obvious.
it's not Bingley Town Council's area, is
No,
it?
I mean, the Assistant Ward Officer, Andy Alderson, would be my first point.
Marcia was there.
Yeah, him and
the
Marcia
meeting,
are the ones that should point towards where we want to be. Is there anything specific we want to ask them? Because I know I'm Marcy's invited me to a meeting next week about, it's Tuesday I think it is, about purple flag status for Bingley.
Oh yeah, she was talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
What
What's
does
the
that
purple
entail?
flag?
Purple flag is a safe place for the night economy, so yeah, it's a good place to have a night out basically.
Oh, jolly good.
Yeah, that's why we live here.
Well, I really need to know who to contact to get permission to use all these places, parks and.
The Market Square was meant to be becoming a single person who would do it, and I've no idea who that person is. But again, Andy is the person. Andy and Marcia should definitely be able to point you.
What's his surname? Andy
Alderson. Yeah, I don't know how you go about the parks. I'm assuming that's probably Brian Dobson. He's the normal guy we end up talking to. But check with Andy.
Yeah. Okay.
And
And
David Cansfield for this area, but I don't think it is anymore.
the guy that you gave me to contact from Salt Air Festival was in fact the guy I had written to originally and got this weird reply, and I talked to David about it, and he'd had the same reply.
Oh right.
So he's
That
obviously
Ian, what's his
double barreled.
Ian double barreled? Yeah.
Which was useless. So he's uncontactable, apparently. It's like talking to a blooming bot.
He might be contactable now. The Salt Air Festival's out of the way.
He might be, but
it might be worth
But I
retrying.
just feel that it's as soon as anything arrives, this email comes straight back at you. You know,
Quite possibly.
I could try again.
Okay, so we don't know of any other third-party events coming up. How? Is there a way we could identify things? Because I mean, I still think things happen to us that come as a surprise. I mean, I know we got.
Well, there was that lot in the park, wasn't there, the other day?
That was what I was
Cycling.
going. That was what I was going to say. I know we got some complaints about
If I'd have
some
known
event in the park, and
Yeah.
we didn't even know it was happening.
If I'd have known it were on, I'd have come down and had a watch. But yeah,
David sent out an email about something the other day. What was it?
Haworth just had a steampunk weekend.
Yeah.
They have it
They
annually,
do
don't
that
they?
annually.
Does
Yeah.
Bingley want something like that? I wouldn't have thought we
I
had
don't
enough
even know what
attractions in that,
steampunk
but
means really.
Well,
Is
just
it a
get dressed
music?
up, and it's a bit of a cult, isn't it?
Is it?
You just get dressed up and
They normally wear very
Victorian-y.
old-fashioned
Oh, it's
type
old
dress
going
with.
back in history.
Yeah, but
It's not punk, it's
it's where they'll take a mechanism and like disassemble it and put it on their hat. And you have seen
They are
loads of-
amazing.
yeah.
It's quite often it's quite interesting to
I'll stop
look
to
at.
Google what steampunk means and see what I can find out.
I mean, there's normally one in Whitby and this, that, and the other, isn't there?
They're good at, they're sort of like pretty decent events in terms of, but they don't seem to do anything. They just sort of walk up and down streets, parading what they are, and then
A bit like the
get
goss
drunk
in
and that,
Whitby there.
Yeah.
Let's just look at me, look at me. Yeah.
So we could
I mean,
we could try and think of something that could have a parade around Myrtle Park, I suppose. But again, it probably normally means you need something else. There's normally something else to hang it off of, isn't there?
I can't find it now.
I don't think it's actually a sort of an official sort of organised event that up at Haworth. They just turn up there on that weekend.
No, it's not. It's an organised event.
Is it?
It is
Through
yeah.
council, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know if it's through the council.
That's what I mean.
But it's an
Organised
annual
through,
event.
through their culture, if you like, or their infrastructure, their own infrastructure.
No, it's well, they'll have an infrastructure, but it is a planned event that I'm sure Bradford probably are signing off for Haworth
probably,
itself and the parks, because they do go in the park in Haworth, don't they? I mean, I know Dave Carpenter was talking about could we have like even if it was just a low key thing, you could have like a Bingley that it was a jazz week, we'd have jazz in all. I don't know if that sort of thing would fit into.
All that sort of thing.
Otley do great things like that. That was what made me think about the festival in the first place. They had a live music thing, and every building you walk past had different live music coming out of it. It was fantastic. They also had the folk festival there, which is great. And they had in the Otley Courthouse this week. They had an exhibition of it was Otley Wildlife Week or something. So there were wildlife pictures up all over the place, and that's just what we need, more things like that.
We do need more things like that. We just got to work out how we get there with a small number of people.
And we do need to get them well in advance, because when I spoke to April about exhibitions, because she has them all the time in the cafe, and she said, "Well, I'm booked up now till blah blah blah." So we need
you've got to be looking at 9 months to a year ahead at the very least, don't you? So I think we are looking at anything that we want to put on or get involved with that's starting now. It's not going to be happening until 2025, realistically, is it? Late 24, early 25. Okay, feedback from the Town Council's networking event. I thought that went well. Lots of people turned up, seemed to enjoy the chance to see what else was going on. I know Debbie's emailed people to sort of stay in touch and that will advertise their events. Do we think as a result of that we've had more events come through, Eve? Is Debbie getting stuff through from people to publicise?
I'm not sure. Do you think there's been more on Facebook? Perhaps there has. Yeah, there's certainly something on Facebook recently was the Joe Wood.
Yeah, the Willow
Weaving competition.
Yeah. I mean, I think in terms of that event, people did enjoy it, and if we do that once or twice a year, I think just bringing people together, I think it's something that we should be planning to do. I don't know what everyone else thinks.
Well, I certainly think so, because it was a decent event and people did enjoy it, as you say. So the question is, what now?
How do we take that forward? We need people to come forward with ideas and then get people working together. Because for me, it's all about trying to make Bingley greater than the sum of its parts, isn't it? We're all...
Yeah, I'm disappointed I missed
So the
that.
only way to do that would be to have a regular meeting, not a 2 or 3 times a year. It'd have to be once a month, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we can't do that realistically.
Well,
I don't think we can.
Well, you're either in it or you're not, sort of thing. So if you're in it, you've got to facilitate it somehow.
Should that be an extension of this meeting?
No, not necessarily. What it could be providing Cardigan House once a month and saying to them all, come along and create yourself, a chair and a subcommittee or whatever, and get some ideas on the table. Because all we are is a catalyst.
Yeah. We're
not here to do it. We're a catalyst. So that would be one of the things. If you give them room for, I presume it takes bookings, but if you give them it for note and say you can have it once a month on a Tuesday or a Saturday morning or whatever you want.
The Green and Clean team used to meet fairly regularly, didn't they?
Yeah.
There.
That's worth thinking about, certainly. But yeah.
Well, we can't be everything to everybody.
No.
And we haven't got enough time ourselves to do everything for everybody. So you've just got to be catalyst. There's kudos in it. It's on Bingley's bit. It's something that's happening for Bingley, and as councillors, you're all invited to go whenever you want. So you could all take it in turns to go and have a sit in on it or whatever.
Well, we know councillors taking stuff in turns doesn't work. We're not just going to go there today.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Show a face sort of thing.
Yeah. So let's think about how we might facilitate that, because that would have to go through council as to this is what we're going to do.
Because it has a cost involved as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
I mean, it's not a
huge.
it's not a huge cost.
It's a community cost,
It's
isn't
a
it?
community cost, yeah. How much does Cardigan House cost? Is it about 40 quid
I
an
think
hour?
so.
Yeah, it used to be less than that. Yeah, I thought it was about £20
Yeah,
an
I
hour.
think it is £20 an hour.
4 hours worth there then. 2 hours. Right, what, 2 or 3 hours at the one they're going?
2 or 3 hours a month, or
Yeah,
I think two's enough.
two's more than enough, I think.
giving us 2 hours a month.
We could try that and see if it works.
I mean, the thing to do would be to offer it to them all and say, you know, if you want to put it and open it up
Yeah,
on a specific, then they all go and you find out whether they want it or not. Because if they've got to turn up, it's like anything else, isn't it?
so let's put out an email to the people who came and our other contacts to see if they would want us to do that, and if there's an appetite for people to meet.
That's the way,
Yeah.
if there's an appetite.
If
How
there's-
many groups were represented at it? Do you know?
There were 30 people there and 25 groups.
Were there 25 groups? Because I thought there were at least 5 people from Walkers and
Possibly, no,
Welcome.
might have been 15 or 16.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
One of them's don't seem to be there anymore. Did you get that, Eve? That I sent you?
It didn't mean anything to me because I didn't go to the network.
Oh, right,
event, so I
right.
didn't have a clue what it meant.
There were his and hers sort of like well-being group, and that thing that come out today, and I thought, oh, they might need a bit of funding, like. So I found some about them, and I thought, right, they have a website. So I went to the website, and it bounced to another site, Treacle, but it bounced to their page, and it says, we're not here anymore,
Oh, right.
sort of thing.
Oh,
At this point in time, it was. I thought,
Oh, okay.
that's interesting.
Uh,
So, but anyway,
so let's see if there's an appetite, and then we can put on we can provide the venue and people can get together and.
I think the arts centre are more open to having different things going on there now. That's the impression I got from the woman, Sarah Hayden.
Yeah, I would have to see how much they charge,
Yeah, I know,
because
I know.
I think last time we asked them something, it won't.
No, we paid, I think, £200 when we had that plastic-free fair.
Debbie's actually going to look at the art centre room tomorrow.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, but it was more expensive than the usual places are.
Yeah.
They want to be the centre of everything, and then they charge too much.
Yes. I mean, I think for us to start with, Cardigan House is probably, or even, I don't know how much the little house charges.
the shed.
The shed, yeah. I've never been in the shed, I have to confess.
Shed wasn't bad actually, and
about?
for people that, if it were an evening, it's right next door to engine shed for a beer after in it for them sort of thing, so that they'd get the business and then they'd all, and it'd
Go off and,
be a bit more knitting,
yeah,
as opposed to Cardigan House. You come out of there and it's like, where are we going?
yeah, everyone goes,
What about Church House?
possible. Well, we can look at venues, but let's see if there's
Just see
appetite.
the appetite.
See if there's
and
appetite for us to
decide
put it
on
on
venue.
first, yeah.
Jolly good.
Good. To consider the Town Council organising events 23, 24. Fortunately, we haven't got Mary because she was going to talk about the D-Day with the Remembrance Group, wasn't she? Because if we do something for that, they should be heavily involved.
Strange two aren't made it, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'm not aware of anything else that we think might be coming our way. I mean, obviously we've always got in the back of our minds a slight concern about the two events that the Chamber runs and whether they'll continue to run them in future, just because of where the Chamber is at the
What's
moment.
that? And Christmas and
Christmas and Easter.
right, Easter.
Yeah, there's normally one at Easter. But obviously the Christmas event is sorted for this year, and it's, well, is it sorted? Did we give them a grant?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we said yeah.
Yeah, I assume we probably would. But I'm not aware of anything else. I haven't,
Sorry, just laughing.
unless we want to do something from scratch, and I think we'd be pushing it for the next few months. I don't
I think
realistically
I think
see us
if
doing
we
it.
want to do it, then realistically we've got to propagate the 15, 16 groups
To get them doing things.
to get them to do
Yeah.
stuff. You know, and once they do, then other people might want to join in with their ideas, sort of thing. So
Yeah, and I haven't seen anything coming out as a forerunner for City of Culture yet. I know they're building up a head of steam, but I don't know that it's directed. Anything's popping out of that.
No, and I've switched off.
if not
after
pops out in
about
January,
half
it'll be
an
time to get worried.
So for the moment, the only thing we're contemplating remains D-Day, I think, unless anything comes up.
Oh, we could ask Mo to give us a written update or something if we want.
What about the canal 150 year? Is it 150?
250.
250 year.
I haven't heard anything from anybody.
No, Marcus mentioned it, and somebody else did as well at
Yeah.
that meeting. Because when we had that before, it was great, wasn't it? With the Kennet, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
can.
canal and the stalls up there and in this square.
Yeah, I am concerned that nothing's going to happen.
Who did it last time? Was it the Canal and River Trust?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
I saw something in print.
they started it off, and it was done with other people, I think. Because the unfortunate thing is, the actual anniversary of Five Rise Locks is in end of March next year, which is now very soon in terms of event organising.
Isn't there a Five Rise Locks Appreciation Society?
I don't know. Not as far as I know. Not as far as I know. Not as far as I know.
When I was down Derby, I used to walk canals down there a lot, and I used to take pictures of bridges
Yeah.
because I knew there were people out there that actually took,
There's loads
collected
of
bridges.
Yeah.
So I used to find it quite fun, though.
Whether there will need to be one if Canal and River Trust's finances get any worse, I don't know. And I think that might be part of the problem.
Yeah.
How come it's got so bad? They
The
must have got
government
funding
have-
from somewhere.
The
So
government have reduced their funding drastically.
Oh, right. Blame Lewinsky again, didn't they?
So, don't know. It would be really nice to have a canal festival, and I've asked them a number of times, and I've given names, and I don't know that anybody's actually doing anything realistically.
Yeah, because they could do it a sort of late spring summer event, and you could get all the barge owners to decorate, be like a little Mardi Gras of barge owners that people could come and see as an observational thing of which barge is dressed up the best.
Yeah, I mean
That would have to be in high summer though.
Last time they had like the Kennet, and they had the other one, the Leeds and Liverpool Canal Appreciation Society, I think it is. Their boat, I can't remember what it's called, and stalls and stuff. So I think they could do something, but they're running out of time to do it
Yeah.
for a 250th. But they might pull a rabbit out of a hat. I wouldn't hold my breath, unfortunately. I know I think Marcy was going to try and chase them down as well. She was keen, but I haven't heard anything. I'll bring it up next week. Anything else, Jane, on the arts and crafts today?
I don't think so. I mean, I made some notes, but people were on about children learning music, basically. There was a lovely programme on BBC, this BBC 4, Radio 4, this week about the importance of children learning music, and Feversham School in Bradford was featured for most of it. All the children learn music, and everything else, the attainment and everything else is rocketed. And and then you got schools like Bingley where they don't even have a music department anymore. And when my girls were there, it was phenomenal, the music department. But if you want to learn music there now, you pay and you go after school. And that's what's happening. So they were talking about how we need instruments, free access to instruments for children. Somebody mentioned the Baptist Church are really keen to share their facilities. They've got quite a big room apparently, because the churches could all be involved in the festival, couldn't they? And that would be great. There was also how anything we do needs to be inclusive of everyone, including care homes or whatever, and get everybody on board, whatever we do for 2025. It's hard.
It's very difficult, isn't it?
And how there's nothing for kids to do in Bingley. I mean, we were in the upstairs room with the windows open, and you could hardly hear yourself think for the noise of kids outside. But what else have they got to do? Even if you go to Scouts or something, it's only once a week, isn't it?
I thought we were going to have somebody coming from youth or something to give us a chat.
Yeah, they're due in at some point.
They were meant to be at the last full council meeting.
That's right, wasn't it?
But
Yeah.
they didn't come now because the person who was going to come had a bit of an emergency with her husband, so we'll rearrange.
Because I mean, and what they'll talk about is they are putting things on here, but I don't know how people get to hear about it. So there are things happening now in the youth cafe, but it seems to me to be far more of an invitation thing than any kids can go there and find like-minded people and hang out rather than anything else. They're obviously doing interventions and things with kids with mental health issues and stuff, which is all good stuff that needs doing, but it
needs broadcasting.
It needs broadcasting, and just this is the youth cafe is here. You can just come and hang out with your mates. I don't think that message is out there at all, is it? So maybe.
What's the age range of that youth cafe then?
No, you're you're asking.
David Hasseltine's bag, that isn't it? That's his project, the youth cafe. Is it David Hasseltine?
No, it's not
yours.
Not really anybody's. It's a Bradford Council.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because he used to be the one that used to broadcast any news about it. Maybe that was
probably just him as those ward councillors, guys. Yeah,
he's not a councillor. Yeah.
So maybe we could help them get their message out a bit more as well. Okay, so if we move on, the bandstand concerts project. Obviously, we haven't got John. I did notice.
It was approved, the risk and resource for it for next year was approved at the last full council meeting.
Yeah. But I did notice that there was some publicity around the venues that have got money from the 2025 Fund for Accessibility, that the £50,000 refurbishment application had gone into, and I didn't see that as one of the successful.
No, it didn't succeed.
I mean, I think the art centre's won some money for something, but I don't think
they
the bandstand has.
accessibility, I think.
Yeah.
So has it been rejected or is it still sat there?
No, that's it for that one. She did say, the Bradford 25 lady, that they'd got a £3 million fund and they'd had £18 million worth of bids for it. So I think they've said that they've come back to other people with funding, but I suspect Bradford bidding for Bradford's money probably
Nepotism.
didn't help. But it does leave us with the broader issue for the town council as to the state of the bandstand and whether we want to spend whatever the figure is. Have we had a new figure? We haven't, have we?
Yes, we have actually. It's just over £20,000. So it was increased, wasn't it, from last time?
Is that just for electrification?
So we'll have to see where we think we want to go with that. That'll be a full council decision. But notwithstanding that, we've still got the money for concerts next year, which at this stage probably need to be booked as acoustics again.
Yeah.
Until we make a decision.
What we're going to say, well, perhaps we'll have to run before we can walk and propagate acoustics, you know, proper bands as there were, and see if we can get known for Bingley is the place to go.
Well, I know last year, I think the lady at Bradford that booked people said acoustic was a bit of a drawback. Because if you look at the people who were on, I think they were all on at least twice, so it was come and come back.
Right.
But whether there's other acoustic things we can put on there as well, because she didn't have, it was all brass bands. There was no choirs or anything, so we could maybe look at that avenue. We really need John here because that tends to be his.
Even choirs need something, don't they? Need some sort of electric.
They do tend to have a bit of backing music, don't they? But, yeah.
But there is some electric there, isn't there?
No.
Oh, none at all?
No.
Oh, I thought there were.
It's just the bandstand
Ah. I see.
with a wonky floor. No, slightly wonky roof.
There used to be a bloke sleeping on it for a while, didn't there?
So we'll have to see where that goes.
And why hasn't it got any electricity? Is it who's opposing it, or no funding, or what?
It's never had electricity.
In the Victorian times, I could see it would work,
Yeah.
but now it could be
Bradford
a
have
hub of.
Bradford have never put any in, so the idea came to town council that we could spend the money and put it in there. There is a certain amount of reservation amongst some councillors as to how long the bandstand will remain a working asset because of its
Falling apart, is it?
because it's not in the
No.
first flush of youth.
Yes.
It's not necessarily.
Bradford Council's property, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not our property. So we would. The proposition that was put before the council was that we would put this in at a cost of £20,000 and then hand it over. But that doesn't mean Bradford can't
No.
condemn the bandstand the next day, and that's the problem from a.
What happens
with the
to other
wiring,
bandstands in
Yeah,
other
I was
parts?
saying,
Well, I think what we've had a quote for is exactly the same as the electric that's in Roberts Park that
That's what I was
Bradford put in, and Bradford.
Yeah.
crikey.
That's salt
Now
out,
that
isn't it?
HS2 is not really going and the government got this huge largesse to spread around, we should get some more to be able to do these things that other towns have got.
Yeah, but we need to follow up with Bradford. I think, given that the refurbishment's not going to come. Well, we're not going to get some funds for refurbishment and work out what that means and where we go with electrification. I think that'll have to go back through full council as well. So 23, 24,
Next meeting.
27, date of next meeting.
Yeah.
When do we want to meet again? 6 weeks?
Is it every 6 weeks?
Or 4
2,
weeks? 6 weeks would
3,
take
4.
takes to the end of the start of December, wouldn't it?
That's it. 1, 2, 3.
Do we think we want to
5,
meet
6.
earlier, given
That's right at the end of November, 28th November.
Yeah, 28th of November.
no? I don't know. When's the next?
28th November.
Did we set dates for full council.
Yeah, so after the full council at the end of October, we haven't got one in November. The next one will be the 5th of December. And then beginning of January to fit in with the precept and budget, etc. So we haven't got anything in at the end of November just yet.
So 28th November is 6 weeks from now.
I've got down full council meeting on 28th.
No, we haven't got a full council meeting in November.
No.
We agreed it at the last meeting that we changed the dates about because we have to for the budget.
Right.
For precept.
Tuesday's good nights for people. Is
Yeah.
another night better?
No, it's good.
I can do that Tuesday at the moment. I'm doing a litter pit with Dummer on the 29th. Maybe we should advertise them as well.
So we're going for that.
If
one.
anybody can take part, but Dummer employees get time off to do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Most big companies have volunteering opportunities, don't they? You get
And they've had high-vis jackets printed with plastic-free Bingley right across the back and Dummer.
They're plastic jackets.
Yeah.
High vis,
I
unfortunately.
know.
28th then?
So that's Tuesday the 20th.
Tuesday the 28th.
Yeah.
Okay. We can exclude the press. I think we're done then. Thank you all.
Okie dokie. Super duper.
Thank you.